In fact, my experience across all the domains is hands-on experience, and this hands-on experience helped me to leverage my experience into the current threat landscape of the IT industry. The breach happening, right? So all those are multifaceted, all those are federated attacks, baits, DDoS, anything, right? So on this, ransomware attacks are remaining at top, wherein attackers are blocking your data and they're demanding for ransoms. When you form your security strategy, you must know the interlinkage between the various security technologies, various security controls, as well as the business acumen.
Hi, you're watching the mainstream. I'm Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and we are back with a new episode from our exclusive series, Voice of Ciso. Today, we are joined by yet another dynamic leader from the IT space, Mr. Yogesh Suryawanshi. Yogesh, firstly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Simran, for having me on the mainstream.
Absolutely. With that being said, Yogesh needs no introduction. His experience and his work has already been renowned in the industry, but I will still take this opportunity and share a few things about him. Yogesh Suryawanshi is a seasoned cybersecurity leader with extensive experience in IT audit, information security, and data protection. Currently serving as the Chief Information Security Officer at Kirloskar Brothers Limited, he spearheads the development of robust security strategies to safeguard the company's manufacturing and supply chain operations against evolving cybersecurity threats. With a strong foundation built throughout his career and his tenure in the IT service sector, he has consistently driven initiatives in cybersecurity audits, assessments, and implementing cutting edge cybersecurity technology solutions. He is also dedicated to fostering a culture of security awareness and ensuring that security governance aligns seamlessly with business objectives. His expertise positions him as a forward thinking leader in an ever evolving cybersecurity landscape. I'm thrilled to hear some critical insights from him today and also know more about his journey. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Yogesh, as I said, you have a dynamic experience in the IT service sector for so long. And now, as a CISO, can you tell us a bit about this journey? What has inspired you, to pursue a career into cybersecurity and how this has changed your overall leadership approach?
Thank you, Simran. My journey into cybersecurity was a natural progression from my early days into IT infrastructure.
Mhm.
I started. I have almost worked on almost all the domains of IT infrastructure, be it endpoint computing, be it servers, be it networks, be it network security, and all the domains of cybersecurity. And I used to be hands-on earlier. In fact, my experience across all the domains is hands-on experience, and this hands-on experience helped me to leverage my experience into the current threat landscape of the IT industry. And my inspiration to pursue this particular career come through various experiences wherein I've been part of a lot of security incidents wherein I have seen those security incidents, those attacks not only impacted the organization, they kept the organization data into stake, they kept organization reputation into stake, also impacted the day-to-day life of the IT staff. IT staff used to be in a huge, tremendous pressure. So I thought, like, since I have all this hands-on experience across all these various domains, I thought, like, it's a right field wherein, I can use my experience here and I can help in building resilient architectures, resilient infrastructure, as well as protecting the company's organization, company digital assets.
Thank you so much for giving us a glimpse about your journey, and it's an ever evolving landscape. So, if you can throw some light on what are some of the pressing challenges when it comes to, evolving threats that you are seeing currently, especially in the context of manufacturing and supply chain sector.
Yeah. So the biggest threat, whichever we face or we are hearing in the industry, those are multifaceted, right?
Correct.
So be it's ransom attack, be it's any kind of the breach happening, right? So all those are multifaceted, all those are federated attacks, be it's DDoS, anything, right? So on this, ransomware attacks are remaining at top, wherein attackers are clocking your data and they're demanding for ransoms. When it comes to OT environments, especially right when the attack happens, it directly causes into the downtime and which impacts the production as well companies' revenue. There are supply chain vulnerabilities, through which compromised vendors or third-party softwares updates can be backdoors. We are also seeing targeted phishing attacks, which are aimed to do the credential theft of the privileged accounts as well as the engineering users. Rise of IoT devices is also increasing another attack vector, wherein these IT and IoT devices are not being designed to keep security in the mind, right?
Right.
So these are the evolving landscape we have it, and we need to ensure like we have consistent visibility across supply chains. We do continuous risk assessment of our third party risk, segmenting our various the IT, OT, and network environments.
Great. And Yogesh, as per your, you focus a lot on aligning security governance with organization goals. So on those lines, I want to understand from you, how do you balance the need for advanced security technologies with operational demands of your organization, and how does security governance plays, what role does it play when it comes to aligning these objectives?
I think question itself has an answer that balance is the key word here,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when it comes to manufacturing sector, operational continuity is non-negotiable, right? And to keep that in mind, we need to approach layer defense strategy, wherein focusing not only on resiliency, but also focusing on prevention as well as adopting some sort of offensive security mindsets. Okay, we need to ensure like we have right control place all over. Also, we also need to ensure like we have appropriate control state visibility,
Right.
okay, which helps you out into your security governance, because security governance is nothing like but it is just like an compass which help us to understand that where we stand in terms of security, where we stand in terms of the state of the controls, right? Where are we weak, right? At the same time, we must know like who are behind us, and mapping of those controls against the people or against the threat intels which we are getting. So security governance is very, very important here. Okay. Along with your technical leadership, security governance plays very crucial role, wherein you have to establish a governance structure in such a way that you have including leadership from your production units, leadership from your IT, security, chief risk officers, legal, HR, and having this right security governance in place help us to get an engagement and buying from from business as well as it also helps you out to place the right controls, especially the controls which are a business aware controls,
Right.
and implement those business aware controls for operational compatibility as well.
Thank you so much for throwing some light on that. And next, you've also led incident response efforts. If you could walk us through how your approach has been when it comes to preparing for and mitigating cyber incidents, how do you ensure that the team is always, ready to respond for any kind of threats or the breach?
Yeah, yeah. So this is one of the interesting questions which you have asked, and as I mentioned earlier, right, my inspiration or my trigger to get into the cybersecurity was exposure to security incidents. I've been
Right.
part of many security incidents wherein I've handled the ransom attacks, any kind of but the data leakage, insider threats, and all. So when it comes to incident response, Imran, like the preparation starts with absolute clarity. You should have complete clarity about what roles you have it, what escalation paths you have it, and what are the communication protocols you're gonna follow.
Right.
With this, you have to implement the appropriate cybersecurity incident response framework, wherein you have predefined playbooks of different scenarios, be it ransom, data leak, or insider threats, conducting regular tabletop exercise with our IT teams, with the plant teams, simulating the real world scenarios. Because for these teams, the day-to-day priorities are different. So conducting these scenarios are really important. At least they get to know that what needs to be done when a particular scenario happens. So this is about response. But along with that, what is crucial for us to focus on the detection technologies, be it EDR, be it modern stock, be it monitoring various the control of state of the various security controls, how they are doing it, threat intelligence based on your EDR logs, based on your logs coming from a SOC. You must know who are behind you,
Right.
and you also know if you know that you know who are behind you, you also the map the tracking map the TTPs behind those incidents. So if you map the TTPs with your control states and the people who are behind you, it becomes more easy for you to know how to respond to those incidents. Post incidents also very, very important, like we emphasize on root cause analysis. We look at what lessons learned, because generally what happens, like whatever we write on a paper, right, in internet response plan, anything that may or may not work. So looking at the lessons learned, feedback loops is very, very important to improve our incident response capabilities.
Wonderful. Moving on, Yogesh, I also have another question for you. Security awareness these days is very crucial for any organization, be it any industrial sector, IT or even retail or manufacturing for that matter. How do you foster a culture of security within your teams and across the organization as well, so that we ensure everybody is on the same page or everyone is aligned with the cybersecurity goals of the company?
So yeah, this is another important topic which on the top list of every CISO and every CIO as well,
Right.
because culture is everything, and we do not treat security awareness is one-time training. You have to continuously train your staff around security awareness. So especially myself, right? Myself, I train my staff. Okay, I go to each and every plant. I give them a security awareness trainings, and I tell staff only one thing, because security, what we follow, or the whatever security hygienes we follow at work, that is also going to help them into the personal life. So if you link the objective of security hygiene with their personal agenda as well, then it becomes more easy for them to adopt those security awareness tips in their day-to-day life. So along with this, continuous awareness training, sending the continuous, awareness emails, putting the flyers on, monitors or on shop floors, arranging the gamified security awareness campaigns, doing cyber drills, introduction of or sharing the short videos
Right.
which they can relate to their day-to-day life,
Right.
right? And out of those campaigns, phishing at campaigns or awareness campaigns, we also observe like some people gets into default mode, right? So we also arrange the another level of training for them, be it so personal, physical, or video training to for for engineers, maintenance staff, IT team, various people. When it comes to sales team, it is important to focus on mobile and data security, right? So we have implemented this various strategies where awareness continuous practice, just like defense forces do a continuous drills
Hmm.
for their defense capabilities, right? So security awareness, building a security culture is also one of the important continuous drill which one need to follow.
Great. Lastly, Yogesh, before we conclude, we already are hearing a lot of buzz around AI, quantum computing, a lot of emerging technologies, taking the center stage now. But as technology evolves, so does the risk landscape, and we are well aware of the emerging threats as well. So, from a leader's perspective, looking ahead, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see in your opinion? And alongside, what are some of the opportunities that you foresee in the cybersecurity space?
Yes. So the certainly with AI, right? So the threat landscape is drastically changing.
Right,
Probably we may or may not know all the threat landscapes as well. So this is
right,
one of the biggest problem. And the another problem because of this, I mean, the gap has increased because if you look at the traditional ways of detection capabilities, response capabilities, probably it used to take, or it is taking maybe hours or at times days to confirm the security breach or incident.
right,
Now, this particular gap is increasing heavily, heavily. Now, if you look at the how much time it takes for an attacker after getting into the initial footprint and breach the network, it is very, very less, especially in today's AI ML capabilities, which are being used by attackers. It just hardly takes 25 to 28 seconds for an attacker to get into the entire network after the initial footprint.
Correct.
So now look at the gap, 26 to 27 second, and we are getting to know after a couple of hours or in a couple of days, like, yes, you had a breach. So this is a biggest problem which I see in the industry today. Now, at the same time, there are a lot of opportunities which I can see, and all of us, we already know that all the defense strategies, right? All the defense OEMs, they're building their products on the AI/ML capabilities where their early detection is happening, early remediation, early containment is happening, right? But still, this gap or this rat race will will always be there, because probably if you have the AI ML based EDR or the any SOC, next generation SOC in place, probably you will be able to get to know about a breach happening maybe within hour or couple of minutes. But again, the time taken by attacker is 25 to 28 seconds.
Right.
So this particular gap certainly will get reduced with the adoption of AI/ML based defense strategies. At the same time, what I feel is it is really important, along with think about defense strategies, organizations should give serious look at the resiliency aspects as well. And most important is the adopting the defensive approach.
Correct.
I see people very less talk about the adoption of offensive security into their defensive approaches, right? Probably putting some honeypots or trapping the bad guys to get intel who are behind you, because unless and until you don't know who are behind you,
Right.
you would not be able to look at, or you will not be able to look at your control states. Probably one particular area you might be doing very good. One particular stage of MITRE ATT&CK framework, you might be very, very strong in terms of the state of controls. But another area wherein you might be bad and you might be getting a lot of incidents or honeypots, it's giving indications like that kind of TTPs are being used by the attackers.
Right.
So resiliency, AI/ML based resiliency approaches, AI/ML based defensive approaches, and at the same time, the offensive approach is really important. So if you keep a group of this all these three different strategies, I believe you can still respond to the growing attack surface which are coming from AI/ML advancements.
Absolutely. And along these lines, because the attacks are also getting more and more complex, how do you think this is impacting the role of CISO overall, right? How is the role changing or transforming a CISO's role overall?
Yeah. So if you look at 5 or 10 years earlier, right? So head of information security or CISOs were looked at as a compliance guys. But now because of this evolving attack surface, CISOs are no more compliance guys,
Right.
right? And because of this, CISO have to play a major role in the three aspects. One is obviously compliance, which are the inherent role requirement from the regulatory bodies. Second is they have to be technical as well. At
Correct.
least they should provide the appropriate technical guidance, technical leadership.
Right.
So technical leadership is very, very important when you form your security strategy. You must know the interlinkage between the various security technologies, various security controls, as well as the business acumen. Business, we are here for business. Business is not for security. So if CISOs are not having awareness about business model, their working model, their complexities, intricacies, right? Then things will not fall in place. At the same time, increasing, the advancements of all these new technologies, new threat surface, CISOs have to always keep them updated. What kind of threats are coming up? So if you look at only changes happening in the various threat surface, probably yesterday we had some sort of a software which had a bug, vulnerabilities, the automation tool. Now it is AI/ML.
Correct.
So threat landscape is changing,
Right.
but fundamentally, if you look at the TTPs or the tactics being used by the bad guys are same,
Right.
right? So how to leverage that particular knowledge in the context of the latest threat surface, and providing the appropriate technical guidance is really, really important. So, to my understanding, to my view, CISO's roles are really critical. That's gonna become very, very critical. Reason, every company wants to do a digital transformation. They are in a continuous journey of the digital transformation. Earlier days, we used to say ITs are the enablers, but nowadays that's no more. ITs are not enablers. IT teams are the core engine of business growth and business function.
Right.
Now, this core engine to fuel, there has to be a appropriate security technical leadership. Simran.
Wonderful. I think Yogesh, right from your journey to building a culture of security within an organization to actually having governance, compliance when it comes to governance and security, throwing some light on governance and security, as well as the evolving role of CISOs. This conversation has been very, very insightful and very inspirational as well on a lot of aspects. So thank you once again, Yogesh, for agreeing to do this with us. And while we wrap up today's session, I really want to take a moment to thank you, and I look forward to connecting back with you again.
Thank you, Simran. Thanks, mainstream. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.